I stepped for 30 days and this is what I've learned. About a month ago, I made this video. I decided to throw with a step for the next 30 days. I really wanted to figure out the benefits to stepping and would it really help my game or would it hurt me? So then the journey began. I started stepping during practice, local events, regionals, and even the Las Vegas Open. I don't know if it's just me, but when you switch something, you end up playing really good, but then over time you start to overthink it and it slowly goes downhill. I dropped my SPR to a 60 and dropped my PPR to the 6s when I was sitting around at 8.2 before. I got a lot of comments in my past 2 videos saying a lot of different things about stepping. Now, do I think stepping is a good thing or a bad thing? I think it really just comes down to the player that you are and what feels best. But I'm going to list some pros and cons I figured out while stepping, and this might help you make the choice if you want to try it or not. So now we're going to start with the pros. For the first one on our list, it's forward momentum. I really do believe stepping helps with a lot of forward momentum. You're able to step forward and shift your weight towards the board, while keeping your body and shoulders square to the target. Next up, effortless arm swing helps with accuracy. With the step and shift in your body, it takes less power to get it to the board with your arm, so you can relax the muscles and be more accurate with your throw. Next one is pacing your throw. Pacing your throw is a big one. I know you can do this without a step, but when you add a step into your throw, it is making your tempo slow down. This forces you to come set for each shot and pace your opponent also. Next up is extra power if needed. I believe for people that struggle to get enough power, this could help you out, because you're able to get more of your body into it, rather than just relying on your arm to get it to the board. And with how big your step is, it could help you get more or less power with each throw. Which goes into our next one, can throw slower bags with ease. If you're someone that can only throw faster bags, and you want to start throwing a slow carpet, this could be for you. Stepping can help you adjust the speed that you need for that slow bag, to be able to block, slide, push, or even roll. Which goes into the next one, push shots. This helps you be able to get enough power to push through one or more bags without relying just on your arm. Last but not least is rolling bags. If you can get the bag to pop but not quite get over a bag or a few, just like the push shot, this helps you get enough power to get your bag to roll up and over one or more bags. Now that's all the pros I have, so let's head into the cons list. First up is more moving parts. This is one con that everyone talks about. And I do agree, for me at least. When I started to throw bad, get too much power or whatever it is, a lot had to come down with feet placement, which goes with the next one, moving feet consistently every throw, where I was standing at the board and how big my step was. This is just one more mechanic that you'd have to perfect. Next up is stepping over the line. This one pretty much speaks for itself. If you're not careful about your feet placement, and your step isn't very consistent, you have the possibility of foot fouling. Next up is too much power. I know I say it can help with power and how big your step is, but for me, even without stepping, I have to worry about going off the back and throwing too hard, which could lead to giving up quite a bit of points. Last but not least, not as much of a flat bag. Now this won't apply to everyone, but from my experience, since I can't throw as hard as I'm used to, my bag rotation wasn't as fast as normal, so it would come out wobbly, and it could cost the bag to cut across the board or even off. Now we're going to see how the deck around went after 30 days. If you watched my last deck around, I would say it didn't go so bad, but this deck around didn't go so well. I'll say the first time I played the deck around, before stepping for 30 days, I noticed I wasn't focused on anything but trying to get the bag into the hole, and that was all. Being here 30 days later, another deck around, I had been thinking about too many things, just like everyone's problem in cornhole. We start overthinking how our body is, how we're throwing, how our arms doing, where our feet placement is. I think from the beginning to now, I started to think more about the mechanics. Starting with where to stand at the board when I come set, and then stepping and trying to get the same length step each time, and also worrying about foot fouling and stepping over the line. As you can see, I'm missing a lot of bags off to the left and the right, and also off the backside of the board. In my first deck around, I used the Black Sheep Gaudis. This round I'm using the same type of bag, but this one's the throwdown version of the Gaudis, so it isn't as broken in and plays a little bit quicker. For this round at least, I just kept going off the back. I was just never able to find the correct step or at least have a consistent step to have the same power with each throw. As the round went on, it seemed like I just couldn't find it. Compared to the first round, I really did feel like stepping was going to be good for me. I felt like sliding it in was easy with the forward momentum you get from the step. And at that point, I pretty much threw the same PPR with a step or without. Not sure if I ever explained why I chose a two-step throw other than it was just comfortable for me. When I tested out all the different ways to step, the reason I chose two steps is because it felt the most natural like baseball. When you throw a baseball, you plant with your back foot and then you step with your opposite foot and follow through. Same thing with bowling. You walk up and you finish with your opposite foot forward and you follow through. So it felt similar to the sports I've done in the past. I really do believe this is most reasons why people begin to step when playing cornhole. So I'm curious if anyone else tries this experiment themselves, if your PPR will get better or worse over time. For all the steppers out there, I would like you to comment down below why you even started stepping. Did you come from a sport with stepping? Was the person that taught you cornhole stepping? Or did you just try it on your own and found success with it? As the round is coming to an end, it doesn't look very good for me. The step felt good and I'm sure I could get really good with it over time. But as of right now, I feel like it would be a setback on my progress. I did get one 4-bagger, but it still doesn't make up for all the 5s and the 7s that I just keep getting. As you saw in my last stepping video in Vegas, I gave up a lot of points and missed out on a lot of opportunities I could have capitalized on. Now let's compare this round's stats to the first round I threw with stepping. My very first round of stepping, I shot a 8.6 PPR. In this round, I shot a 6.9 PPR. That is a 1.7 PPR difference. First round, I had 20% 4-baggers, 63% bags in, 28% on, and 10% off. Now this round, I had 10% 4-baggers, 48% bags in, 30% on, and 23% off. So as it shows, I dropped quite a bit in the last 30 days. After the 30 days of stepping, I think I'm going back to a no-step throw. The reason I'm doing this is because it's just what I'm used to and most comfortable with. I gave it a good try and it was definitely a good experiment. I just feel, even with no step, I tend to still have a lot of power and I was just never able to find the right amount. I really do think this is a good way to throw if you have problems with power. Even though I'm going back to no step, I have learned a lot. Some takeaways I got is still having forward momentum with no step, how you can shift your body forward enough to still drive the bag towards the hole. Another big one for me is pacing. Taking a second in between each bag and playing your own game at your own speed. I know I've always struggled with going fast, and with stepping it really made me notice going at your own pace is better for you and it'll benefit you when your opponent's a fast thrower. Last one it taught me is to be more relaxed when throwing. When I'm able to just swing my arm and not tighten any muscles, the bag goes smooth and into the hole a lot. But it's just a mental thing with staying relaxed as possible and not getting upset with the bags you miss. Overall, I think stepping is great for the right people. I'd recommend trying it if you're struggling with power, maybe you have to throw too hard and you're not very accurate, or you want to use slower bags and you can't get them to move. My other big problem with stepping was not being able to replicate my feet placement every time. I would forget to look where I was standing and I would cross my feet over a lot. So with that being said, this was a great experiment. If you want me to try another experiment you have in mind or have any questions, go ahead and comment down below or message me on Instagram at GunnerBriz. I have one more stepping video that will be out Friday, and it will be the Las Vegas Open doubles and singles. Then after that, I want to do another challenge video. Also let me know if you have any other video ideas you want to see me do, if it's challenges, tutorials, or something else. Last thing, I want to thank my sponsor Black Sheep Baggers. If you need any bags, boards, or apparel, head over to blacksheepbaggers.com and use code BRIZ10 for 10% off. And until next time, I will see you guys later.